Hello and welcome to this off-season's Zcast for Season 8. We're going to be talking about all of the changes and everything, and we're joined by all of the staff. First you have me, Burn. You have Squee.
Hi, am I the only one that was really having a struggle against saying one?
I said
Yes,
it.
Just to give
you
Bird a
all
hard
said
time.
it. God dang it.
I didn't.
We have Derangel, we have Kaio, we also have Darky.
Or orange, if you know me
Or
by
orange,
that, just
yeah.
so people aren't confused.
Yeah.
Or the new staff member.
Which I've been
Ooh.
meaning to say, you spell that wrong. Orange is with an O.
It's okay. It's my name with
It's an
G-E
alliteration on
end.
his name. Yeah.
Don't be racist, Squee.
His name is literally Auron with GE.
That's namist. Get my bigotry right.
So anyways,
Anyway.
we're here to talk about Season 8
Hi,
and all the changes, all the mods, everything.
We've already decided the winners, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Modgens are going 13 and 2.
Everyone was right all along. DBZ League.
Fantastic. We rigged
Oh man,
this
I've
shit
already
from the
recorded
beginning.
all the weeks. I've recorded weeks 1 through 15. They're ready to restream and act like they're live.
Oh, God.
Piff doesn't
All
even
the
know.
conspiracy theories are true.
Yeah, Piff can't even tell.
Yeah.
Piff thought it was a real week. It was a real season
Yeah.
in just
Yeah.
3 days.
By the way,
Oh,
also,
man.
KO's clairvoyant because he knows all of your builds already.
Oh, no wonder
Ugh.
why Majins did so well late season.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but in all seriousness, we do have quite a few changes to go over with you guys. Very excited for Season 8. Should be a really fun time.
Yeah. So why don't
9.
we
Yeah, it's 9.
We
why
just
don't
had
get-
8.
Oh,
Season 9.
Season 9. Whoops! We're going
Jesus
into
Christ.
Season 9.
Yeah,
Not
that's
me.
why we knew what was going to happen with Season 8 because we already did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wait, were we not all in on that joke? I
No.
kind of assumed that was the whole point.
Okay, look, I fucked up. Anyways,
That's fine.
so first things first, team songs are going away. Why don't we
That's
discuss
right.
that?
That's not 100% accurate, but basically let me explain, everyone. So the epidemic sound songs that we have been using, I can use on my YouTube channel because I am partnered with TGN, and that is part of the partnership deal. The original goal was to get partnered with TGN, and that would be fine. However, they dragged their feet forever, and we finally just gave up on it. And besides that, with the whole adpocalypse, I'm not even sure it's worth it anyway.
Yeah.
So
Probably
the
not.
point is, we're probably not going to be partnering with TGN. If we do partner, we could just partner straight with YouTube at this point.
Yeah.
But it's not something that's a priority. The problem is, of course, that means that theoretically we don't have license to use these songs. Which means we're going to be looking into other options. There are other websites and things of that nature that we can look into where we can, say, purchase a license for so many months, or other methods we might look into it. Methods that we will cover at the end of the Zcast for other reasons that will become apparent
Yes.
at that time.
Yeah.
But just understand that we may, sometime in the next few months, be providing you guys with a new list of songs to choose from.
Yeah.
So
And if
don't-
all else fails, game stuff, all else fails. At least for
And-
the season.
And be advised, guys, that if this happens, this will be part of the bidding. We don't know yet because we don't know enough information. We don't know yet if that means you'll get more Zenny or you'll have to bid with what you got. But I mean, that's the fairest way to handle who gets what song, is just to make it part of the bidding war.
Well,
Yeah.
we always have had it part of the bidding.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but this time it'll be
Not
more
special.
important because they have to choose a song. Yeah.
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 So,
Well, they had to choose a song before.
but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
There
It's
was so
more
many teams
exciting.
out there that yeah. But yes, so just be aware that is something that is coming.
Yes. So
possibly.
next up on the list is, because we're using a modded game and all of that, we have eliminated the use of the trainer. Except for a couple of instances. We no longer need the trainer to keep the difficulty up, and we no longer need the trainer to use the good and bad Pataras. However, I found a workaround without the trainer we can't put on red Pataras anymore. So
Yeah.
the red Patara tests are going away. The reason why they are, and you can't use the trainer anymore, is because the trainer, for some reason, doesn't work well with our modded game. It just doesn't work.
Doesn't work at all.
And,
Yeah, it doesn't
and
work at
honestly,
all.
there's a lot of reasons to get rid of it. For one, it's very resource intensive. So being able to run the
Yes.
game without the trainer will just make for better shows.
Yes.
The show's already improved drastically last season, but without the trainer, it should improve even more. This means basically what this means is I don't have to. Darky has found a way to mod basically make the same changes the trainer did to the difficulty and just permanently install them into our copies of the game.
Yes.
So we don't need to run it while the game is running.
And they're active with the cheats that we already have, like
Yes.
the health cheats. So all you need to know that that it's active is everybody has the same amount of health. Like you'll know that that's active as long as that is.
And one thing to note is there might be some differences. We're not entirely sure, but it looks mostly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we have noticed a few minor differences in behavior, which is fine. You guys have got a whole off season of training to figure those out. And that's a good thing, actually, because this actually increases, I guess, security, if you want to say it, for teams that want to try and do illegal testing on their own. Well, good luck with that, because you can't guarantee your tests are going to matter at all because you don't have a modded version of it.
not that we're saying anyone is, but we're just saying that it
Right.
helps
You
fight
have
against
to
it.
have that idea.
Right. The league will continue to grow, and as it does grow, you will always get people who try and game the system. This is a nice way to ensure that teams that are trying to play by the rules will be rewarded.
And sometimes people do it without thinking about it. They don't know right off the hand, so it happens.
That is true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That happens all the time where it's not malicious. It's just
They just don't know. Yeah.
exactly.
So
Another thing that the trainer was used for was to eliminate the barriers of certain Pataras, like
Yeah, the good and
Halo
bad ones.
wasn't. Yeah, Halo wasn't. You know, for instance, that wasn't available to
Yep.
evil characters. Well, I fixed that too, so we don't need the trainer for that either. So
Yeah.
the only ones that are off limits in general, just because I forgot to do it, but we're not using these anyway, are the Earth, Namek, and Universal powers. And
Yeah, which we
we're
will
not
never-
planning.
using those
We-
anyway.
Yeah.
Just
for
let you
use.
guys know,
Mhm.
those will never be available. They are far too powerful.
Yes.
Extremely.
But nice thing is
Way
it's
too powerful.
it's like everyone's life's easier when doing things like defense +3, because that was a pain in the butt before.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
overall, this is just going to make everything easier, better, more streamlined.
Less slow down.
We don't have to use it. We don't have to use it to do the defense +3, attack +1.
No.
No.
Every
Genius.
good or bad Patara can be put on anybody.
Right, but the defense +3 was technically we had to put defense +3 on and use the trainer to do it, because we also then had to put attack +1 on.
Well, no, the problem
No,
with
no,
that
no,
was
no.
defense +3. The
Is it
tower
good
only
only?
worked on good characters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good only Patara. That was the problem.
Never mind. Good, then we're fine.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Man, wonderful.
Perfect.
Oh,
Next.
actually, there might be an issue
What?
stacking the same Patara twice.
Hmm.
So, like, if
Oh,
you
for
put attack +1
boosts.
and boost in another attack plus, we'll figure it out. I can still
Yeah,
work.
we still
around
have the
that.
trainer. If we
No,
need
we
to
can
do it
always
that way.
just we
Well-
can always just do attack +2 or attack +3 like that. If people do it that way.
Well, the thing
I
is,
have a
like,
workaround.
if
I have a workaround
Well,
yeah.
anyways. It's just going to take a bit more time for me setting up the actual builds. I don't want to say what the workaround is, but I have a workaround.
Right.
Well-
Either way, as far as the average person is concerned, it will still be available. Don't worry, it won't be a problem.
yeah, I mean, if all else available plans fail, I do have something in mind that could be fine, because technically Patara editing is also possible. So if it's literally impossible any other way, then I can literally just change one of our unused ones to be like that exact effect, like defense +3, attack -1.
Yeah.
I could literally just do that.
Right.
Yep.
So don't worry about it not being there. It'll be there, one way or the other.
Okay, So, next one is look over the nerfed characters that will be the new free agents.
Oh boy.
So,
All right.
let's
Let's
go
look the-
over this
the list.
list. First up, we have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and I'm going to switch the cam over to the actual game. All right. So,
Wait.
what?
Are we skipping Luffy?
What do you mean?
We're
What's
not
the wait
talking
for?
about Luffy. Yeah, what's the wait for? Honestly, I'm just being silly.
I didn't say wait. I just said oh boy.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Okay,
heard
then I'm back
Jeez.
to me. So are we just
Okay.
skipping over Luffy?
Yes, totally.
Yes.
So first off, we have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. He was nerfed quite a bit. What changes were made, Darky?
All right. So, since we're starting on Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, first of all, his Rush Blast damage has been nerfed because it was ridiculous previously. In the base game, it does 4,700 damage for a
Mhm.
full volley,
And as you
which
can see,
that speaks for itself.
as you can see,
Yep.
it's doing a maximum of 3410.
Yes. Obviously that's much lower, much more manageable. Clearly, he's still not going. He's going to fall into the Vegeta Master Blast rule, even so.
Yep.
Yes.
But
And the Vegeta team limit as well.
yes,
Yes.
of course.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
And his
Yeah.
charged ones are also adjusted in damage, so they are also weaker than they
Yeah,
were before.
2500 damage.
Yes. The next thing that we've done for him is adjust his B2 damage.
Mhm.
Previously, his Final Flash and his Spirit Breaking Cannon were doing just over 9,000 each.
This one did 8000 boosted, and
Mhm.
Spirit Breaking Cannon did, after the animation finishes, 8500.
Yeah,
So a bit
So-
of a nerf.
a nerf.
It may not sound like much, but when you hit 3 or 4 of those over a match, then yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna.
Also, we made the Spirit Breaking Cannon cost a little bit more.
Yeah.
Previously,
4
it cost
bars.
3, and now it costs 4 because it is a strong B2 and it's very fast. So we only thought that was fair for allowing like a strong B2 like that, to just nerf that a little bit. So that's it for his changes. So next, what do you want to
Next
move on
up,
to?
we have. Let's check the spreadsheet really quick. Super 17.
Super 17. All right.
He's back.
Let me
He's
find
back.
him really quick, and start up the match.
He protect, but he also attack.
Yeah.
He protect, but he
All
also
right.
attack.
Come on. All right.
Just so
I'm
you
in the
guys
game.
know, I can't see the screen share at all, so that's cool.
Well, there is no screen share.
There
That's the
is
problem.
none because it was super
oh,
lag.
okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. There's
We
no
actually
point.
just don't care about you.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay. Fine.
what changes did you make to Super 17?
I accept it. All right. So mainly, what I've done for him is just B2 and ultimate damages. Previously, his Health Storm was doing over 9,000. I think it was 9,300.
Okay. Let's see,
And
Hellstorm
now
will
it
do
should be doing
6,000 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you can see, very much nerfed. But the thing with this B2, and some people were concerned about it. Thing with this B2 is that if it starts hitting you, you're essentially going to get hit by the rest of it.
Yep.
If it clips you, and I think it has max range, it will go all the way across the map.
Yeah.
Um,
Here, let me
Pretty
test that
dang
out.
far.
And if you start getting hit by it, then the rest of it's going to hit you.
Yep.
And
It goes
Trust
across
me.
the map.
we
Yes.
tested him with these new damage values. He's still good.
He's
Yeah,
still good.
He's still pretty damn good. It's a 4 costing B2 now. Or it's still a 4 costing B2. for
Yeah,
only
it always
6K.
was.
But the thing is, he's an android. He has access to a hell of a lot more ki than normal characters. He can
Yeah.
still stay aggressive while charging. And he also can suck up beams.
Yes.
So
And
it should...
I don't
And he's a standy dresser.
Yeah.
recall if his AI was doing that in Test
It
or
was.
not.
It was.
Okay,
Yes.
so
it
he does do
100%
it.
was. Yeah. He does do it quite a bit. His playstyle is very aggressive,
Yes.
for the most part, from what I've seen in the testing. He's still a very viable character.
Oh yeah.
And
Definitely.
he still has his beam. Did you change the damage of his beam?
Yes, I did. I did nerf it slightly. The beam damage wasn't too egregious, but I made it more standard in terms
Yeah.
of beam damage.
So now it does 75-20, as you can see.
Yes.
It's still pretty strong, but
It's pretty strong, but
Yeah.
we've seen. I mean, most beams do around like low
Yeah.
to mid 7,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a 3-bar beam, so he uses it
Yeah.
quite frequently.
and he does have a good base charge rate, so he's still a very strong character.
Yeah. And then finally, we have his ultimate.
Yeah, give me a sec to get max power mode. Okay, I can do his ultimate now.
And it's
Here
huge.
goes.
It's a huge ult.
Yeah. And that did 131,000.
Yes. So.
Or 13,000.
How much?
I'm sorry.
13,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Whoa.
Did I mention that we are quadrupling everyone's life?
Yeah.
Sorry.
1 million
Yeah.
life.
So that also got nerfed, just due to the fact that it is a huge ultimate. It's basically
it's-
a Grand Smasher ult.
Yeah, a Grand Smasher / SS Deadly Bomber type ultimate.
Yep.
So huge. But yeah, so hopefully with these changes, Super 17, I mean, from what we've seen in our testing, he is a lot more balanced. He's still strong, obviously, but he is a lot more balanced than he previously was.
Mhm.
So that's good.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see him in the league.
Next up is Super Gogeta.
Yes.
All right,
So
Super Gogeta.
Super Gogeta largely got the same treatment. His B2s and his ultimate were all nerfed. Big Bang Kamehameha was very strong B2 before. It was doing like mid 8,000s uncharged, and if he charges it all the way, then it does upwards of 12,000.
Yeah.
And Super Explosive Wave was doing around 10k. As for his ultimate, it used to do 16,000. Now, since it's a rush ultimate, I didn't nerf it as much. Only about by like 1,000 or so.
Let me go and
But-
do his ultimate really quick.
Yes.
Stardust Breaker.
I do
This
love
is
this
such
ultimate.
a fancy ultimate.
128,000.
16,680 is how much it did.
Yes.
Which
So
is nice.
think of how much it used to do.
Yeah.
A lot
Um,
more than that.
so yeah, that's it for Super Gogeta.
Also,
from what
I
we saw of him, he's still pretty balanced.
He is still pretty balanced. I should mention that he still falls under the Master Blast and the Vegeta rule.
Yes, because he's
Four
technically
Part Vegeta.
part.
He's
Yes.
part Vegeta.
Three of these new FAs will fall under that Vegeta rule.
Yes.
He's half Vegeta.
So
So I believe four of our teams will not have access to 3 of these new guys.
but I mean, there's still plenty of
Yeah.
FAs. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
we're adding.
Of course.
So
Here's the next one, which is Super Vegito. He is
Base
forced
Vegito.
into
Regular.
base 4.
base Vegito.
Sorry, base Vegito. He's forced into base 4.
Yes.
Anyways, what did you change with him?
His B2 and his ultimate damages. Originally, that is the only thing that I changed on him, but we tested him and he was still way too OP, which is strange considering that these B2s, we have characters here that are have more powerful B2s, but the thing was he had such a fast charge rate that he was firing them like crazy. So what I ended up doing is nerfing his charge rate as well.
Yeah.
I made it the same as what Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's was, and his isn't that fast. So with this, he's still good from our tests, but he's a lot more balanced. So Big Bang Attack, Scatter, Finger Beam stayed the same because that's not that bad of a B2. It just has a lot of spam potential.
Yeah.
and his ultimate was slightly nerfed. So his B2s really did not take that hard of a hit.
Yep.
It's mainly just his charge rate, which allowed him to spam like crazy, that got nerfed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of a big deal. A lot of a big deal, in fact.
15,600 damage is how much that did.
Which is fair for
Yeah, it's a beam.
Yeah. In testing, that's what was the problem. It was his Scatterfinger beam at point blank. It was doing 6,900 damage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
which is
he can spam
quite
it,
a bit.
spam it, spam it, spam it.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit if he does it over and over again.
Were there any changes other than that?
No, that should be it.
All right, and on to our last free agent. Mind you, all of these free agents are new. They will not be put on master lists. They are free
Yep.
agent only.
Only.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chopper.
So
Damn it.
All right.
We can mod now, guys.
No!
slow
not
and
doing-
steady. Oh yeah.
We're not doing the heavy stuff until later seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You told me Vegeta could Bankai.
No.
No, we said if Bleach ended with a good ending, he could Bankai, but
And it did not. So
That
Yeah.
ending was terrible. All right,
So-
anyways, so we have Sin Shenron.
yes.
The big bastard is back.
Yes.
But he is going to be
Yes.
staying in base form
No
and
Omega.
not going into Omega.
and again, master list only,
Free agent only.
Free
that.
agent only.
free agent only. So
Not
no,
master list.
Everyone
Don't
has
listen to Kaio,
him on
he's
their
drunk.
master list.
he's on
Everyone has priority on him. You all figure it out.
Oh god. Alright. So first up, his B2 Trap Shooter stayed relatively the same, but the thing is, this is a
Yes.
more beefy version of Trap Shooter than is normally in the
Yep.
league. So watch this. It goes needs to be further away.
Further beyond.
It would be
Okay.
so happy.
Come on. Go back and hit the target. There you go. For 5,500 damage. And it missed a
Yeah.
ball. So that's usually about 6k for that B2. The next one was one of the ones that we had to change because his B2 was
Bonkers.
a bit bonkers. It was a bit too fast. This is
Blazing
Storm.
Storm.
And
Used
this
to do
Blazing
straight up
Storm,
10k.
yeah,
Yeah, and
This-
it always hit.
yeah, always hit. It had further range and it animated a bit faster than Nappa's. So we just put Nappa's
Nappa's.
on his.
Yeah, I literally just changed it into Nappa's. So
Yeah.
he has Nappa's Blazing Storm now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that was a
let's
little
see.
crazy.
Yeah. And did we do anything with his ultimate?
It's slightly nerfed.
Okay.
It's nerfed by about 1,000 or so. It's a volcano explosion, and it's
Yeah.
pretty large.
And because it's
Yeah.
pretty huge, it actually hits quite a bit.
Yes.
I've seen in the tests where people try to fly out of it and they still get hit by the tip of it.
Yeah. So yeah,
but just the tip.
yeah, just the
Yeah.
tip. Sin's Blazing Storm used to be twice as big as it is now, and like Burn said, the range was much further.
Pretty much instant. Pretty much instant.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
but now it has a little
crazy.
delay before it hits, and it's smaller.
Yeah.
So that's really all that we changed for him.
Change for the new FAs.
Yeah.
Yes, and for the
So-
new FAs in general.
Yeah.
And just
See, from
to
from this
reiterate,
range, from this range, he was still able to hit the enemy. But now with Nappa's, you can see it just
With a
explodes
B2
in front.
that pretty much always did 10k. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was
and just to
much.
reiterate, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Super Gogeta, and Base Vegito will
Are all
fall under
Vegetos.
the all Vegito, or, so no Master
Yep.
Blast on them, no pick. So I cannot pick up any of them
because you
because I
already
have
a
Majin Vegeta.
Vegeta.
Right.
So
Yep.
just to really make that sink in, so we don't
Yeah.
get asked.
Yeah.
But yes, I believe. Thank
that's
you.
it for new FAs.
Yes.
So, I think next up, I should probably have kept it on BT3. Next up we have the
Well,
any
we're
character
gonna discuss
changes.
the change for the for characters that are in teams or are the FAs. Yeah.
Actually, first we have defense negs. So let's go and talk
Okay,
about
yeah.
defense
Oh, yeah.
negatives.
You forgot about those.
So
Should that be me? I mean, I have the list in front of me, so
basically,
yes,
we're getting
go
rid
through
of
the list.
anything below -2. And then
below yeah. So anything that was above 2,
Yeah.
or below, I guess, as
Below.
Durangel said.
-3, -4, -6.
Same, yeah, exactly. So the list of the characters affected by this. Bobbity used to have a -4 defense.
Yep.
He has a -2 now. Chaozu used to have a -3 and now has a -2. Chi-Chi used to have a -2 and now has a -1. Now this is a little bit of a different thing. She didn't have more than a 2, but we figured since Dragon Ball Warriors basically has an entire team of people with defense negatives,
Yep.
we figured that we would help them out a little bit with their characters. Just Chi-Chi
Plus with
and Young Goku though.
Yeah, but basically with those characters, it's just because they were so adversely affected by their defense negatives that it was just hurting their characters.
It's hard to
lot.
try other builds on those characters because
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah.
So Chi-Chi changed from a 2 to a 1. Kid Goku also changed from a 2 to a 1. Like I said, nobody else on Dragon Ball Warriors was affected.
Yep.
Frieza Soldier used to have a -4 and now has a -2. Goldo used to have a -2 and now has base defense.
Yep.
This is a little different. We didn't change him to a 1 because, well, I mean, he doesn't have too
He's
much
Goldo.
going for him other than his B2s. His melee is pretty awful. So
And because the
We-
Ginyu Force literally has
it's
no
stuck
other
with
option.
him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're stuck with him. So we decided to make him base.
Yeah.
In an effort to try and improve some of the other characters that, like, even though they're at -2, they weren't performing that well.
Yeah.
Throw
Yeah.
those teams a little bone here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
There's
the
certain
Goldo
teams that
victory
need
was
it.
really fair because his -2 was just a little too much for everything else he had going against him.
Yeah.
Right. And keep in mind that the main gist of this is not that because a team didn't do well, it's because
Yeah.
the team factually and statistically does
a
less
lot of
damage than the average player. So
Yeah, because I mean, like Ginyu did really well last season, and I think DBW did okay last season.
They
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
had a pretty tough
Yeah.
season.
They were
Yeah.
really good at the
So,
beginning
so
of the
the point
season,
is,
but
the point is,
dropped
we're not
off.
just looking at this and going, "This team didn't do good. Let's beef them up." It's more like this team's struggling, and there are numbers to back up why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because their characters typically, on an average, just do less damage in their
And-
moves.
yeah.
So
Next up for the defense changes, I guess the last one too, is Hercule.
Yeah.
He
pretty
was
bad.
changed from a -3.5 to a -2. Now,
Yep.
a lot of you might be asking, what does this mean? Why was his defense negative changed if he's not going to be in the league? Well,
Well,
he is now.
going to be
He's back.
Yep. As in, what was the what we decided on what we do for him?
Yes.
Here's what we decided to do with him. He will not be forced onto a team anymore. Period.
Yeah.
In fact, all of the teams will not have forced characters anymore.
Yeah, good time to pick.
So
bring
Earth
this up.
Defenders will not have to have a Goku anymore,
Goku
and Majins will not have to have
to have
Babidi.
Babidi.
And I think that was it, right?
And
it
there
was.
was, yeah, and
It
Derp.
was Derp.
Derp was
Right,
the
because
last
once-
other one. But
Yeah,
like I
once we
said,
got
that's
once
not.
we took it off of Herc and Derp, we felt it was kind of
It's
fair
not
to
really a
everybody.
Yeah.
thing anymore, so
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
leave
Yeah.
that antiquated thing on
Yeah,
two
it
teams?
felt a bit antiquated. But
Yep.
here's the big thing: Herc is just gonna be in the pool to nab for master lists.
Yes.
But
Yep.
here's the thing: technically, he's helped save the Earth or defend the Earth against Cell.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're adding him to Earth Defenders list. So
Yep. So now he's on Derp and Earth Defenders
Earth
Master
Defenders.
List.
yes, because of that, we didn't want to just like go, oh hey, and you can have this extremely good character back, Derp. We wanted to have a little
Yeah.
bit of competition, and
Yeah.
there you go.
That's frank. He is better now.
He is
yes.
much better
for
now.
other reasons we'll get into later too.
Yeah, he has
Next,
gone through
actually.
a lot of changes.
Ah,
Yes.
Yes. Do we want to get into that right now? I can go
Sure.
over it.
Are we done with the
Sure.
defense negs?
Yes, Hercule
Okay.
is the last one.
Okay.
So-
What's up, Squee?
I think
Yeah.
so. I think we're done.
Okay.
So the next
so
topic
let me switch
is
back to the game.
Okay.
Next up is the changes to characters that are already on teams, and as you can see in the game, I have Videl.
Yes.
So what
Her
do we
name's
have?
Devil.
What do we
Videl.
have in store for Videl?
Okay, so Videl, as you should all know, had really bad key blasts.
What? They're
Yeah.
the best in the game.
Terrible key blasts. Oh yeah, totally.
And as you can see-
super short range, really bad damage.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm trying to do her key blast now. It is now a knee to the groin.
Yep.
Yep. And you can charge that up just like you could a key blast, and it will do more damage.
Yep.
I think the stun is the same, but it will do more damage if you charge it up. Now, this was an idea taken from Nam because he does not have Key Blast and instead has a chop move that does this.
Yes.
There might be a couple others that have that, but I'm pretty sure Nam is the most prevalent one, so I'm just going to use him as an
Yeah,
example.
he's the easiest, most known one.
Yeah, so Videl and Sailwoman both, their Key Blasts are gone, and they have
Yep.
been replaced with this knee move. So hopefully that should help Videl and Sailwoman's aggression to not have to
Correct.
throw out these Key Blasts all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and waste your
They
key,
do nothing.
honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is it's not that this is unwarranted. Anyone who saw season 7 would see Videl throw those out at just the worst time possible when there's no chance it's gonna do.
Yeah.
Any-
The AI seems to think that they have
Yep.
the range that they normally do, but they don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the thing to remember about this stuff is the AI is aware of any changes we make to their character pages like this.
Yes.
So
They
So the
fully
AI
adapt to anything that we
yeah.
Yeah. So let's move on from Videl to her father, Hercule.
do, Daddy. So,
The dad.
Hercule.
It's your dad.
So let's do an experiment. Do 3 of his fun move.
Oh, okay.
Let's do an
Yes.
experiment.
Let's try and figure out which one it is. Is it this one? Yes. Dynamic Mesma Punch. And
Guess
you can
what?
see it's already doing damage.
It's
Ba-bam!
doing damage.
7,000.
It's going to do damage every time.
I can't see.
And now it's just going to look like he's hitting them so fast that the damage is racking up, but they just don't realize it
Yeah.
yet.
Right.
So
Great.
that's funny.
It's
So that's
so
always going to
great.
do damage.
Every
That
time.
might actually be kind of insane because that B2 is actually
He's a-
really
he's a
good
really
when you
good
take
charger.
That
away.
B2 cannot. I don't think it can clash. It always has
No,
priority.
it has priority over clashes,
Yep.
Yes.
and the tracking
clash.
is insane.
Yes.
Yeah, and he has a dang good charge rate.
And
It's
also
the best in the game.
he has Present Bomb, which also
Yep.
Those buffs.
stops everything, has priority, and does 7,500 damage, as you can tell. So he has a
Yep.
7k move that has priority.
Present
that is a
bomb will
charge
also
move.
go. Present bomb will go through false courage as well.
Yeah, it goes
Yeah.
through False Courage. It goes through everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything.
So, another thing is you can notice now his melee stuns. We do not have any Pataras on him. They
Nope.
just made it
Yep.
so that he can stun now.
He can just
so he
stun.
does-
No,
we don't
yeah.
have to drop Draconic Aura on his build every time now, so he just has that. Also, it is buffed in damage. It's doing more damage than it was previously. Before it was doing under 2,000 for a full combo, and now it does mid 2,000 to high 2,000.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we
His
changed
grab is
his
still
key
fairly
blast
weak.
too, right?
His grab's still fairly weak, but there are plenty of characters that have weak grabs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not
Yeah.
super concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, grab's
And
not
the
what
idea
we're
is to
about.
make him to make him, as
Viable.
far as the numbers and stats go, an average fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's a viable option now.
Now
Let
the
me show
last
you.
thing.
Yeah, let me show you his Key Blast. A kick to the groin, just like his daughter.
But it's
Which
a
can be
spin,
charged.
father like
Yeah.
daughter.
so
It's
it's 3
great.
times as good because it's a spin kick.
Yep.
And as you can
Um,
see, he slightly moves forward with it.
Yes.
It's really good.
So that's great.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, with both Videl and Videl and Hercule, just like Nam, that can be used as part of a combo.
Mhm.
So, something to keep in mind.
So yeah, those are all the changes to Hercule, and hopefully now he will be a viable character.
Yes.
Yeah.
We hope.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'll move
so-
on to Yajirobe in a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
I think that was the last
Yajirobe got
one,
some
right?
changes.
Yeah.
Who we have made
So,
no changes to whatsoever.
Yeah, just not the
None.
just not the last one, by the way. But yeah,
which one is the next one?
well, Yaj will be next, but there's one more after him too.
Which is?
There's actually
Nuova?
technically two,
Yeah.
Which are?
Nuova and Pikkon.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go over those first. Because
Okay.
then
Yeah,
we
they're,
can
they're the
we can
lessers.
we can dovetail into the healing stuff with Yajirobe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, first up, Nuova.
Oh boy. Okay, so Nova, his B2 damage has been nerfed.
Yes.
As you all know, his B2 damage was bonkers last
Just a little
season.
No.
Burst attack was doing 8,500 every time it hit.
And nearly impossible
Burning
to dodge.
tornado was doing 9,500.
And
Yeah.
company stop it was anything except for like a grab.
Yeah, except the Goku grab.
Yep.
There were actually a
and-
few grabs that stopped it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
like 5 or
Uh,
6.
Burst
but-
attack got nerfed to be about a normal kind of like beam damage
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a B2, which
So
is
that-
fair considering
Yes.
how much it hits.
Yeah.
Yes, and considering
Burst
he has a
attack-
Dango charger as it is, so
Yeah. Burst attack did about 7,100.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's pretty
That's
good
fair.
considering how big it is.
And hyper tornado,
Burning tornado.
burning
Same
tornado
thing.
does
Literally same.
7,720.
Yes. And
Correct.
this move, like we said, completely invincible to anything except throws, apparently.
Yeah.
yes,
It goes through B2s. So
goes through ultimates.
the last thing that we changed is that we nerfed his key charge rate because it was also
Yes.
very quick.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So it is slower now, and hopefully his spam potential will still be
try and-
pretty good, but
Yeah.
it's less insane.
Yeah.
So the point, the thing to take away from this is that Nuova's not going to be fighting any less effectively or brutally because that was part of it. Part of it
Yeah.
was that he was just a really good fighter. So none of that's changed. What has changed is his B2s are a little less hard hitting to make up for the fact that they are difficult to counter.
Definitely.
Basically.
And then we can move on to Pikkon because he
Pikkon,
is a very similar character.
Give me a second.
Yes. No.
A lot
Oh.
of people might be a little shocked, but Pycon's numbers are pretty much right there with Nuova's.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Hyper
he is the same
Tornado.
tornado.
Other than visually, it is the exact same move. Now,
Yeah.
it has the exact same damage, and there was a debate for a little bit whether it was actually invincible like Burning Tornado. We've tested it. It is.
It
It's
is.
invincible to anything except for throws. Well-timed
Gozag
throws. Yes. So that was actually the deciding factor
Sorry.
for whether we were going to nerf its damage or not.
And so we did.
Yes, and so we did, and it's the same damage adjustment that we did to Burning Tornado.
Dang it, I did the wrong one again. Ugh.
Way to
Oh
go.
well, Burning Shoot also got nerfed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To 7,180 once they hit the ground.
Yes.
Which is really not that big. It's just
Yeah.
we know when he's really built
Yeah.
for what he can do. He
Yeah.
can be
Yeah.
insane.
Also,
See,
he has
generally-
a really good charge rate. Also,
Yeah, generally the problem with Pikkon and why we decided to take a look at him was because he's kind of been on one kind of thing since he was brought
Yeah.
into the main league. And nobody has really experimented as much as some of the other characters. So they
Yeah.
haven't really found that, oh shit, he can do this. And like Durangel found with Nuova.
yes.
So we're preparing for that, but it wasn't that big of a nerf. I think they were only
No,
lowered by
it's
like
a pretty
1,000.
small. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pretty small nerf, all things considered. Hyper Tornado is nerfed a little bit more, but it's understandable considering how strong of a
Yep.
move that is.
Yeah.
Yes.
His ultimate hasn't been changed at all. That's still the same.
And it's a dang good ultimate.
Yes,
Yep.
but it's literally just his B2s, and that's it.
Boom. Thunder Flash. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go into the final character change. That is
All right.
a character that is on a team, and that is Yajirobe.
Probably the most-
Yajirobe.
Most requested, I
Yay.
think.
Most
Yes.
requested, and one of the biggest changes we've made in the league so far. Let me change the opponent to this guy, because screw this guy. All right. So, first off, let's talk about healing.
Yeah.
Right now, we have the ability to mod out a few things. We can do certain things, but we are very reluctant to do some things like mod every single healing B1 out of the game, or change a bunch of things drastically without testing it first, because well, we might have some data that Yajirobe might do well in our own private testing, but as you know, we tried that with the tagging thing and then it didn't fucking work. So
Yeah.
Plus, we want to we want to ease into the mods, because
yes,
the less that we do, the more we can focus
and
on
we're already doing
how
a
this
lot
is
of changes.
reacting.
You
Yes.
kind of want to like roll these things out like in kind of phases so that people can get adjusted to the new things.
yes,
And you guys should all understand that.
And so we have some more
exactly.
data too. Like we want to see some data with Yajirobe to see what it affects, how he acts, how if it breaks, something like that. We want to have that data before we make wide changes to every healing character.
Yes, and this
Right.
is
And we know it's hard. Like it is really hard for all of us to curb our enthusiasm, because we're like, man, we want to do this, we want to do that, but we slowly.
there's a lot of things.
Like
to
there's so
consider.
much stuff we had to say no, we can't do this too, because we were like, this would be cool, but we had to say no, let's wait and see how things go this season first.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we also chose Yajirobe because he has the most powerful healing B1 in the game, and arguably had the most nerfs on him because of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And
he was
Not
the
even
perfect
arguably,
candidate.
it was.
Now
yeah.
that his Senzu is gone,
Yeah.
he does
Yeah.
not have any AI restrictions.
He has super unyielding spealer, and he can't senzu. Here I am
Yes.
trying to senzu this entire time.
Yeah. Normally he needs all of his blast stocks to do it. He still can't do it. So
Yep.
there you
Even
go.
with the Patara that lowers the blast stock requirement, can't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
Make sure-
he only has a max power mode B1. Just by doing that,
Which
that
is
lets
pretty
him
damn
use,
good.
Yeah, that immediately lets him use every single AI.
Yep.
That lets him use
Yep.
every single B1 Patara.
Tower.
That's
Healing.
gigantic. He
Yeah.
can use healing now. He can use
Yep.
Eternal
Yes.
Life and Dende's healing, as long as the Blades, who have him currently, don't have another healing character.
He
Yeah.
can use flight if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he can
why
use
not?
flight.
Wow.
Yeah.
But because of this, he's going to have... He not only has the fastest charge rate already, but he's going to be able to max power mode, throw out an ultimate, and then max power mode again, throw out an ultimate. He should be much better.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So the last thing that we did to him, the rocks are gone.
Yeah,
those
rocks
are
are
really
gone.
useless. Now he didn't get a melee type move like the others. He just got Key Blast.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
he throws up to 4.
Yeah.
These large blue orbs.
The reason why we chose to go that direction is because he already had this key slash move. So it'd be weird if he had a punch and then a key slash.
Yes. So he will still have the Key Blast. Like I said, he'll be able to throw out 4. The damage is, it's not that great, but he's a Dragon Ball character, and
Yep.
I wanted to make that align with the rest of the Dragon Ball characters, in which their Key Blasts aren't that amazing.
Yep.
So he has them now, and that's cool. The rocks were entirely useless, so at least he has something that isn't useless.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that is all the things that we did to Yajirobe and
Yep.
everybody that is already in the game.
Except for 2, which I'll get to later.
Yes. So
Okay.
what are we moving on to next?
Let me go back to the Zcast splash screen. And next up we have coach tryout threads. Now those things will be out fairly soon. Now please, anyone remind me which teams need coaches?
Derp, Namek,
Dragon Ball
Dragon
Warriors,
Ball Warriors.
and the Saiyans.
Yes,
Mhm.
I think those are the 4.
That sounds right.
That does sound right.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds right. Now, a few of you may have noticed that we said Dragon Ball Warriors. Yes, Syspawn has stepped down recently.
Yes.
He simply doesn't have enough time to coach the team as effectively as he wants to. So even though that was kind of a bit behind the scenes, we didn't make it super public. We're now making it public. The coach tryout stuff should be up within the next couple of days. Is there anything else we need to talk about that?
Good luck.
Good luck, and if you want to try out, please make sure to carefully read the rules, because
Yes.
Yeah.
we hate disqualifying people for not following the instructions, but we have to every year, and it's like we'd like people to just pay attention, slowly, carefully, take your time with this.
Yeah.
Just read the rules.
And if you're on one of the
yes.
teams that has some new changes, consider those things.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Warriors obviously is going to be one of those teams that has to consider, hey, 2 of our potential characters have a little bit better defense now.
Yep. And again, if you have questions, I think just make sure to ask one of the staff.
Yes.
Yep.
We're always here to help.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
I mean, don't ask us how to win. I mean,
Yeah.
you know. But
Because clearly, I mean,
and it's the thing that I think that people forget or don't utilize enough. We are always here to help you understand rules, what works with what can or can't be used in or out of testing. It's not like because it's a test, you can't ask us how a certain rule works. We're fine with that.
Or throw a build by us. We'll look at it, go, oh yeah, this looks good, or about this idea. Like we like doing it. We like coming out that kind of stuff.
Well, to be fair, though, with the testing, though, we should probably keep any opinions we should keep to ourselves. Basically, don't ask us for our opinion. Do you think this will work? We won't answer that. But if it's does this rule, am I allowed to do this?
Like,
then
for
by all
instance, you can 100% ask if if the interaction of quick fast attack and master strike works. If you think that you get attack +2 for that.
spoiler,
but
it doesn't.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't stack. But you can't ask, hey, do you think this would be a good idea?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because we shouldn't be helping you with that aspect. Because then favoritism on all that.
Yeah, and that's.
I will say
scary.
this though, there's no such rules for the community, so never be afraid to reach out to the community and ask them. I mean, like I haven't seen this too often. There is literally nothing wrong, other than other people seeing your build, with just posting a build and saying, guys, I'm trying out for a coach. Here's my build. What do you think? Like none of us, as far as the staff, we would encourage it. We love the community helping each
definitely.
other.
I encourage it in Naruto League all the time.
I mean,
yeah,
obviously,
it's
we
no
as the
different.
staff members can't do it because we're the judges. So
obviously, don't be like, hey, can you build me a thing so I can
Because
become
we're
a
gonna
coach?
say no.
No, I meant like in general, like even to other people. Don't just be like, hey, can you just do this for me?
Yeah.
And then,
Oh yeah, well don't do that.
Or, like ask for suggestions and say, hey, well, does this build make sense to the community? Obviously.
all right.
So is that it?
So
for
that's
that?
they'll look forward to that. Yeah, it'll be coming up soon. Generally, for those of you who are completely new, the test generally takes the form of we provide you a scenario and ask you how you would build your team to take on this said scenario.
And it's always with the current members of that team, so don't like change up the roster. It's always
Don't go.
Current.
Yeah, don't go like, oh, if I'm the coach, I'll drop this character and get this, and then I'll build this way.
No.
Yeah,
And-
don't be
and-
like. immediately
And I will
have
say
to
this: we look for the foundations, i.e., how you build your characters to make their strengths and weaknesses work, which is great. And we also look for how you build to counter the other team. So don't just concentrate on your team. And last of all, one thing that we have a staff have talked about too, that we think that maybe some of you guys don't realize. We are okay with you being technically wrong, i.e., if we as a staff look at a build and we sit there and say, that's not the best build for this character, but it makes sense. It's logical. It works. We just know as a staff that this would ultimately maybe not pass the testing. We don't count you off for that. We're looking to see
Your logic.
Your logic,
You like the
exactly.
thought.
If you
know,
ultimately have a good reasoning for
Yeah.
doing it, if you present
Mhm.
that well, then it's not going to make any difference.
Yep.
So be less concerned with what the optimum build is and more concerned with having logical builds that play to character strengths,
Yep.
take away their weaknesses, work well as a team, and counter whatever you're
counter,
going
yep.
up against.
And also
Yep.
try to make sure you're guessing what a potential team would do with those characters that we have in the enemy scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm afraid we're not going to test these in an actual match. We're just looking at your reasoning and how you would plan and that stuff.
So a lot. There's a lot.
Yes. and please make sure to explain all your reasoning too in a way that's easy to understand.
Show your work.
Yes, show your
Yeah.
work.
Don't just like give us builds and explain nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's happened.
It
Yes.
has
Oh, yeah.
happened.
That's why we're saying
Darky.
it. That's
Yeah.
why we're saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So, what do we got next?
Okay, next up, I'm gonna swap back over to the BT3. All right, going to Ultimate
We
Training.
have fun stuff. We have fun stuff next.
Yeah, we have fun stuff. So here's the thing. Let's talk about Android 19.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
You know, I probably shouldn't be doing this in Ultimate Training. Ugh.
Probably not.
Yeah, here.
Sorry.
I'll go back
I
to
always
main
thought he
menu.
kind of sounded like a more robot Elmo. I don't know why.
See it.
Yeah. Yeah. He
There's
kind
no
of
way it's annoying.
Not Android 19 Elmo mod season 10 confirmed.
Ah,
Season 47.
Look, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Kevin for season 10. All right,
hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Kevin's
it's
dead.
happening.
So here's 19.
That'd be
So
okay.
is half the people in this league.
Aw.
You want
Let's
afterlife.
just go here. Okay. So, I'm not very good at this game, so watch me lose
Well,
horribly
nah.
to very easy. Okay. All right.
We'll start off with 19's grab.
All right. Yeah, let's start off with the grab. As you can see, I'm not healing, but I am gaining ki if he had ki. So that's
Yeah.
one big thing.
Yes.
The other
The
big
other.
Is watch his charge rate.
thing, yeah, watch his charge rate. He is actually charging past 2 bars.
Yep.
Ugh.
So he is passively gaining ki like other androids.
Yep.
However, as you can see, it's slow,
Very fast.
Yeah,
and
it's
for good reason.
pretty slow.
Yeah.
Granted, this is
Wha-
with no Pataras on him,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
that's the thing too. I probably shouldn't have gone against Teen Gohan Super Saiyan 2.
Probably not.
Good job.
Oh shit,
Um,
Father Son Kamehameha.
Okay,
Ooh.
Look it
so
up.
a big thing is that yes, they can charge up to 5 bars. It is slow. However, keep in mind that they have the grab still that does that. And
Mhm.
also, don't forget they can absorb B2s. And when I say
Yeah.
they, I mean Jiro as well, because all of these
Yes.
changes are also affecting him in this very same way. So all of
Mhm.
these values are the same. The only part of the grab that actually damages is the kick. And as such, I have buffed the kick at the end to make up for the
Yep.
fact that the draining does no
Yep.
damage.
And as you can
Um,
see,
Ditto-
I'm at full key.
Yep.
And
And
Yeah.
if
something
I
to
can
note
dodge
is
that.
their ultimates still will drain life,
Yes.
So
which means
because
they're
of
still
this,
limited from from the current healing limitations.
Yeah, let's talk about that actually,
Yeah.
because there is a little bit of a caveat for that. Like there's a little bit of a difference in terms of how they're affected.
Yes.
So those two are banned from healing Pataras
Cool.
because their ultimates still
Yep.
does heal them. Now, yes, 19 never really used it last season, and in our testing he didn't really use it at all either, but the fact remains that it's still there. They are banned from it. However, the team that they are on will not suffer from those same
Yeah.
the same bans. So
yeah,
you can have
it's
them
not
on their
team
team.
wide. It's not team wide
Yep, just
anymore.
them.
It's only character wide.
but that's for these two. Don't
For these
don't
two
confuse that to mean everybody. Just
just
yeah.
19 Juro. And they are still banned from Rakume Ai
yes,
Yes.
for obvious reasons.
Because I mean, obviously they can still get plenty of key from doing their throw.
Yeah. And they like to grab a lot under Rakume Ai, so yeah.
Yes, and keep in mind the damage of Master Throw does not affect how much key they get.
Yep.
That is static. You cannot change that.
Yep.
Now, obviously, if you still want to go for a throw build, go for it. You can.
Yep.
But you're not going to be able to use Rikume AI.
Yes.
So yeah, they are. I would say that they're much better because of this change.
Yeah, they're still really they are
Specifically
very
19.
they're both. Yeah, 19's
Yes.
really good.
Also, a quick note to bring up. Some of you might forget this because they almost never do it in the league. They can absorb B2s,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they like to do
and
it.
And-
now they do it.
Now
Yeah.
they
much
do it
more
quite a bit
often.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they enjoy it.
I don't know why this change made them do it, but they do. So
Yep.
there you go.
They've learned to suck
Yeah.
with 2 C's.
Yep.
Learn to do the suck.
I get it.
Ah,
Squeeze
Got
in
it.
on the memes.
So yeah,
I
you'll
got
no
it.
longer need Unleash Latent Power for these guys, thankfully.
Yes.
Because
So, yeah.
on both the androids and Afterlife and any team that had 19, we
Yeah.
just felt that they
It was
always
terrible.
were lackluster, underperformed, just thrown away. So we wanted to
Yeah.
make them
I
more
would
viable.
say, other than Hercule, this is the biggest change that we've made to
Yes.
a character.
Yeah,
well,
I-
Yajirobe's
I
was
agree.
big.
Yeah,
Yajirobe too. I mean, considering, but I'm talking like only as far as moveset goes.
Then yeah, well,
Like
Yajirobe,
this is the most that
Well,
we have
either way.
changed.
yeah,
It doesn't matter.
pretty massive changes to him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we did put in a lot of, well, I guess I did put in a lot of effort to make sure that these
Yeah.
guys were balanced and
Yes,
that they
and we
worked.
tested the heck out of both of them.
And again, as
Especially
always,
Burn.
if there's any questions, if you don't understand exactly how that works, just ask us. We'll be sure to clear it up for you.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about any of this, we can clarify some things for you if you think we weren't clear enough. But hopefully, for the most part, that we've been pretty crystal on these explanations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
But we
Alright.
still have more to talk about. We're not
Oh, yeah,
segueing.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're-
we're done.
We're not segueing
We're not
into
done.
we're done.
Bye,
but-
everyone.
we're pretty much done with characters, I
Yeah.
think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
So back
We
to the
already did number
Zcast
8.
splash screen.
Oh
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah. So we're going to number 9. We already did number 8.
Yes.
So, look at the suggestions thread and talk about that. So let me
Yep.
pull this up again. League suggestions.
And I'd like to thank people for engaging at this stuff and giving us ideas.
Mhm.
And engaging all the topics and stuff. So yeah, good job, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do appreciate it.
So, first up, I think we already talked about forum navigation.
Yes,
we
been done.
have been moving stuff around, specifically trying to have sections of this is where announcements go, this is where league information goes, this is where the private stuff, the public stuff, and the stats. That's it. And we've
The
been
basic
trying to-
idea is that we and we'll go over it a little bit more later. We want to try and grow the community. We want Dragonball Z League, as I'm sure everyone does, to be much bigger than it is, so that there's more people helping you out. And if we're going to do that, we need to make sure we have a forum that can be navigatable, that people can understand.
Yeah.
So we're doing our best to do quality of life improvements.
Yeah.
I say we. Really, I mean Burn.
Yeah. Primarily Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
just
I
more
helped.
stuff I need to do. Yay!
Hey man. I'd help if I could.
I can help if there's something you want me to do. I know my way around. I've been on the block.
Around the block and around and on. What am I
Yeah.
saying anymore?
Through.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So, what was the other
Suggestions.
suggestions?
Next suggestion: taking Sensumin off Yajirobe, giving him sleep.
Hey,
we already addressed
we did
that.
half of
We're
that.
not giving him sleep,
No.
but
we're
we
not
did
giving
take it
Trust
off.
me, this is better.
Yep.
Yeah, this is way better. Next up,
Next.
time on field stat. Why don't you guys go over this?
Alright, so
I'll do it very quickly, very simply. When we look at what the stat team does, what they concentrate on doing, for the most part, with the exception of a few kind of fun ones that we feel are important to the league culture, i.e., who's gone elite, that's a
Yeah.
perfect one. We typically stick to stats that can actually help the team grow or give them important information to help them build characters, because our statters they work really hard and we don't like putting an extra load on them if it's not going to be helpful. And the simple truth is, time on the field, it could be useful, absolutely, sure, but it's also an incredibly easy stat for you to do yourself.
Yep.
I mean, you can watch the match and just pause YouTube when they land and then pause YouTube when they leave and do the arithmetic. You can definitely take care of this yourselves. So here's how we look at it. We don't want to throw more work onto the stat team that we already have. So I'll give you guys two options. If there is someone out there who is willing to step up and wants to kind of join the stat team to specifically do this stat, fantastic, bravo. That doesn't put any extra work on our stat team, and that gets you the stats you want. That's great. Otherwise, I would say someone in your team can watch the matches and record them very, very easily.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, it's also really not hard to go back and look at the episodes and just look at the timestamps of when that guy came in and when he either tagged or died.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and as for personal opinions on this stat, I actually do think it would be pretty helpful because I think it's the only way you can really measure how useful like a tank is.
Yep.
We don't really have any other
Sure.
stats for like how useful they would be, and obviously that's a tank's main function is to stay on the field as long as they can and just do something.
We're specifically talking about time on field only, not the damage over time stat, which we don't really see much of a point in.
Yeah, we're probably, I mean, I say probably,
Yeah.
but we talked about it. We're not going to do that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so if you guys want to count that, sure. But you know, that'll be in your hands.
Yeah, we're not going to force our stats people to do it.
Right.
Yep.
Any others?
Yes, adding characters to the game.
Not
Okay.
Not this season.
Well-
Straight up.
Well, not only that, but Darky, why don't you go through why we can't do some of the
So-
suggestions?
We can't just add like anybody ever.
Yeah.
The thing is, we need them to have some sort of model from another game, or we need to have something to go off of. If it's literally a random character from Dragon Ball that appeared for 2 episodes and isn't in any fighting game, then we can't do it. We also can't just change B2s like that.
Yeah, we can't make our own moves.
Yeah, we can swap
Yeah.
B2s.
Yeah.
We can change the effects of B2s, but we can't just like make a whole new move, or we can't just change like trap shooter into shurikens or whatever the idea was for that. We can't.
And we're limited by what's already in the game, so we can't make we can't make a B1 do something that's not allowed by the game itself.
We can't just do whatever we want. It'd be amazing if we could, but that's not typically how modding works.
Especially on games
That's
like
more
this.
like hacking territory, not
it's
modding.
basically rewriting code at that point, which we just.
I'm not Sombra. I'm main
Yeah.
soldier. I don't understand computers.
Look, Sombra, if
This is
you
very
can
true.
hack, if anything can be hacked, why don't you hack the points so the enemy can't take it?
No.
Anyway,
That was an Overwatch reference, Squee.
I got it. I didn't get it.
okay.
All right,
Anyway.
next.
But yeah, it's that's all the suggestions.
That's all of them? Okay.
Yep, we'll get in. Now, topic 10,
Yay. Time to look at what that is.
power body.
Oh, right. that.
This is more just
Just
most of
a-
you will already be aware of this, but this is an official announcement in case anyone is not aware of this. We wrote a book.
a book
Yeah.
was written.
We burnt through like 5 calculators going through all the
Oh my
stats.
gosh. So basically,
Yes,
there was a
it was
question of
crazy.
whether or not Power Body should be left into the season or not. And I'll give you the highlights that basically we did an enormous amount of testing and math to determine this question. And we even polled the community, which is why most of you should know about this as well. About 2/3 of the community was not a fan of Power Body. And basically, here's the gist. With the new difficulty, melee is far more prevalent than it used to be. B2s and ultimates are a little less prevalent than they used to be. And when you add all this together, especially with the increased effectiveness of melee, Power Body has become an incredibly powerful Patara, increasing people's potential by 50 and sometimes even 100%. And we felt that at the end of the day, it was just too powerful for what it was and too hard to counter. So we are removing it. Now, if you have any questions, there is, and we'll refer, can we like maybe put it in the description? We can refer you to our post that breaks down everything.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
oh boy, I do not, I kid you not when I say we were
did
very
a lot of
diligent
work.
in this one.
Yeah. We did it
Because we know that it was a subject of contention, so we
And
wanted to be sure to do our due diligence on it.
And I think the thing is, if we ever do anything like this again, we're probably going to end up. I mean, if there's not this much data to present for it, we're probably going to do it again because now
Yeah.
we've made the best possible argument that we can.
Yeah.
And at least on the forums and on the Discord, it seemed to have gone over pretty well. I don't think that there is actually any replies to that thread, even to this day.
Or at least, yeah, no one seems to have an issue.
Yeah.
No.
They understand our
And
massive
any
amount of data.
issues that were that were brought about were addressed, and
Yep.
people seem fine with it. So I know this might be new to some of you guys on YouTube, but hopefully you can accept this change as easily. If you want to go see the forum thread with all the info, we could probably leave it in the description, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, we'll leave it in the description and you can go read it for yourself. And if you have any issues, bring them up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Or don't.
All right,
We're
number
fine.
11,
Which is.
a fun one.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
The potential of that thing.
Oh yeah, that.
We're not going to tell you what it is. We are forever going to refer to it as that thing.
That As it.
Oh,
So
dude, I'm the
with-
master of referring to new things as that
No.
and
What?
being extremely vague.
All right.
You mean like that
name-
thing for that other
moves.
Oh,
You can
yes.
rename your moves. Okay, look, look. We have the ability with modding now to potentially rename a B2 move, i.e., change something from garlic cannon to change it to where it says, you know, like the spicy
Rusty.
garlic cannon or something.
A rusty knife.
Rusty knife, whatever you'd like to name it. What we are going to do, we're not going to let people go crazy with it. We're not going to let you just rename anything you want. There will
Yep.
be certain rules, and it will be something that you have to purchase. So basically, you will have to purchase it from the boost store, and you can only do it once before the season starts, which means you
Yep.
can change the name of one move once per season, and you got to pay for it.
Yes.
I'm out of soda, love. I drank
Yeah.
it all.
Now,
Interesting. But yeah, and
I'm sorry.
we're not going to announce the price of it just yet because we're still trying to hash out all the price things for.
Yeah, we're
FAs
still
and
yeah,
everything
figuring
any
out
other
like,
details that we
yeah,
have.
FAs, everything.
Obviously, don't name it anything profane.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
somebody
Or
else
insulting.
names something, don't name it the same thing.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't want to have a
literally
bunch of.
can't
Well,
do that.
okay. I will say this: we will be somewhat flexible. If there is a really good reason for 2 teams to have, or 3 or 4 teams to have the same name for something, we will consider.
mean,
we
if
want to be very
everybody-
flexible here. Like if
If
everyone
every-
named it to Game Over, if they just everyone named Trap Shooter to Game Over, one.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we would consider it.
exactly that. I was gonna say the
yeah.
exact thing.
But
or
for the
name it
most part, like I said, we'll be flexible because this is just for fun. But we do want you to be creative. We don't want everyone to
Yeah.
just name it the same move over and over.
And
Yeah.
make
So,
memes.
we
So
we
do it.
don't need 47 trap shooters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, don't do that, please.
Yeah.
Look, for me,
So-
I'm just gonna name everything High Speed Clash.
No,
Already decided.
we
I'm sure there'll
can't
be some of
do
that.
that.
I hate you
We
all.
can't have two moves that
hate
are not the same
all.
thing that are the same.
What do you mean?
thing.
Everything is already High Speed
No,
Clash.
no.
Bro.
What Burn means to say is that you cannot make me right. What are you thinking?
But
Fucking
Squee,
No.
this is helping you.
stop
Stop it.
trolling.
Okay,
Let's see.
fine.
Jesus.
We need one
Sorry.
to have a move named Fireman.
Even though that's my entire
Rusty
existence.
Knife.
Anyway,
Yes,
so
It
we
that's
was
the
your
do
main
need
gist.
existence until you became a staff member.
All right,
I will
so that's the
revoke
gist of it.
But yeah.
It will be in the boost store. You will have to choose it before the season starts. We don't know the cost. We'll let you know later. And if there are any changes to it,
let you know.
for example, if anyone has any good ideas, we'll consider it and we'll let you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
And no, this is only for B2s for now.
correct.
Yeah.
No ultimates. No
B1s and that. Yeah.
B1s. Yeah.
Because again, we're trying to make slow changes to things, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So on to the last topic, actually.
Yes.
Okay. I'll take the
I'll let you
lead on
cover
this one.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll take the lead on this one. So, we are going to, and we did mention this briefly during the end of the Tenkaichi Bowl. We really want to. We think that we have the league down to a T. In other words, we're starting to get where things are very balanced, they're very organized. The win-loss records of this season are a huge example that the league is starting to really come into its own and hit its stride after just 8 seasons.
After only 8.
And because of that, we really want to try and grow our audience, not just so that we have more viewers, which is always nice, but so that you guys have more teammates. We know how hard it is and how much you struggle when you're trying to build a team with 2 people.
Or by
One for
yourself.
none.
Or
Yeah.
by yourself, right? And we want you to have more. We just want this to be bigger. We think that Dragon Ball Z League, and you agree with us, I'm almost positive, is an amazing concept and idea that most people don't know about, just because this is not something that would just naturally come to your mind.
It's kind of a niche kind of idea.
Exactly. So we've been really considering ways to grow our community and ways that we haven't tried yet. Basically, we want to start putting money into things like advertising and hiring voice actors. I know Christopher Sabat has been very, very generous. He's come on a few times. He's been in talks with me before. He will be back. We don't know when or where, but
Yeah.
he loves the league. So
But he's very busy and stuff like that. So
he's even promoted us for no reason
Yeah.
whatsoever. It's been great.
it's awesome.
But we can't expect everyone to be like him. And in all honesty, we also shouldn't just expect him to do everything pro bono.
yeah.
Oh, of
You know,
course
if
not.
voice actors give their time, I feel like we should be able to compensate them for that. And we should
Definitely.
also be able to make paid advertisements. For example, there's lots of YouTube channels out there like Rhyme Styles, who was a guest once, who have a huge Dragon Ball Z audience, who might be willing to make a sponsored video to get the name out there, or podcasts that would do the same thing, or forums that concentrate on Dragon Ball Z that offer paid advertisements. But all of this takes the
Money.
omnipotent, the holy dollar bill. And honestly, I think that's the next step we make to make this
Yep.
league into something spectacular. So we are planning on launching not a Patreon. We're actually thinking of a Ko-fi.
Coffee, what
Which-
it's called, yeah.
Yeah, it's just another type of a Patreon type thing, a tip jar
Basically,
where
it's a tip jar, yeah.
right, asking for donations. And here's the thing. We want to get the community involved, where you give what you can to help grow the league as an investment. And in return, what we want to do is make sure that you know darn well where every cent of it's going, as in we plan to use it to advertise here, we plan to use this to try and hire voice actors, and if it works well and we get enough money, we're also thinking of, I guess, what would you call them, stretch goals maybe, where we
Yeah.
get the Vegeta skits to come back once in a while. I'll
Yeah.
just make the time for it, or we commission someone to draw professional banners for all the teams. You know, how great would it be
Yeah.
to have a team banner that was custom drawn for your team?
That would be awesome.
there's a
This would also-
lot of ideas.
We could
and
also use
thoughts.
this for music licensing.
Exactly, right. So remember we talked about earlier about how we might have to have all new songs. We might be able to use this to get really good songs for you guys to use. There's 101 things we could use this for. However, our first priority is getting the word out there, growing the community, advertising our name, our brand, you guys, how great you are as a community, and getting more voice actors to be guests.
And plus, I mean, if you guys throw in, like, it helps make the league more sustainable. Like,
Yes.
it can only help. And
Yeah.
But
if you do that, then it's very much appreciated.
But we want to stress, none of this money, none of it is going to go to us. None of
Oh,
us
no.
are taking a cut. We're not going to use it to increase our equipment quality or anything
darn,
like that.
Darn,
We're not gonna...
I need to cancel my yacht then.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
not going to use it to buy Steam games or anything like that. Every
good.
cent will be going towards advertising, and we're going to be 100% transparent. I.e.,
Yes.
we literally plan to say we are purchasing this advertisement on this thing, and this
Costs
is
this much money.
cost this much money to do it, with the exception of, again, if the person that we
Well,
are asking to do this doesn't want that disclosed, obviously.
that's fine.
But we will be as transparent as possible.
Where the money's going.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can contribute, just pay attention in the future. Pay attention. Wow, that sounds very. I'm not a teacher. Hey. No, keep a lookout in the near future. We will be setting it up when we have a better idea.
Yeah.
We also want to get you guys involved. If you have a great idea of a place to advertise,
or other ideas we can use for the money and stuff like that. But just toss in
Exactly.
these suggestions. It's kind of what it's all there for.
Exactly. Also, I know everyone a lot of times talks about Team 4-Star and asking Team 4-Star. I'm very, very hesitant for two reasons. One, we have invited them many, many times and they've never responded, which is fine. They're very, very busy people. But two, it is going to be very tricky to talk with Christopher Sabat and professional official voice actors and Namco and all that, and also Team 4-Star, because I love their work. I love their work to death, but there is some issues there. We all know.
Yeah, maybe take them in Toei, but still, we don't want to get on Toei's bad side.
Yeah, exactly. We just be very careful here. But don't get me wrong. I love them. I love them to death. They are. I mean, who doesn't love DBZ Abridged?
Yeah, all their gaming stuff, whatever else they do. But yeah, they're a great group. But it just it's complications for us that we'd have to try to navigate. That might not be possible.
Yeah. Did you bring me a drink? That's very sweet of you.
Oh,
Are you wiping that on my shirt? That's less sweet of you. Thank you.
that's okay.
Wait, are you taking my drink now?
Oh,
Wow.
well then, let's. I guess we're coming to the end of it
it was
here.
the end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
cry.
So, is there
Yeah,
anything else we need to
you'll have
talk about?
right now.
I don't think so.
I think we've hit all the points on the list.
Only other thing I can think of, I forget if we actually went into it, but with the mods going out to testers, we'll be bringing in more testers.
Should we talk about that testing thing you mentioned earlier, Burn?
The what?
The thing you mentioned about testers earlier.
Oh.
With the version.
Oh yeah. So I'm going to be going through and talking to all of our testers and whatnot about this, but we have gotten a few people that want to become testers, which is great. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us first.
Yes.
Don't just go ahead and ask for all the materials and stuff first and then approach us.
Yeah.
It might seem like the right thing to... No. Just talk to us so we know.
Yeah.
So we know what's happening, so we don't think that you're private testing.
Yes.
Because at the very least,
more importantly,
DBZ
is that now that we have modded these changes into the game itself, we have to be very, very careful who we allow to have a modded version of this game.
Yes.
We have to make sure the people that we're giving this to are trustworthy and have proven to be trustworthy.
Yes.
And as DBZ League staff, I don't want to come off harsh, but we do reserve the right to approve or deny anyone's request to become a tester for these reasons.
Because
So-
and here's the thing why we have to be so anal about it, because I know there's some people out there that's like, well, who cares if we just do testing? Because there's teams out there that can't. And
Yes.
if you do 100 tests and they can't, that is just
It's
an
unfair.
insanely
Yes.
unfair advantage. So hey, maybe one day when we grow big enough, every team can have their own dedicated tester that can do this, and at that point,
Yeah.
great.
Fine.
Official tests will no longer be necessary. But we are not there.
No,
No.
not even close.
Mhm.
But well, to circle back around to our last topic, that whole thing can help us get there. You know,
Yeah.
it can
Yeah.
it can help grow the league. And
Yeah.
if you
And-
love the league and you have the ability to support it, then you know what? That's
Yeah,
that's
all
let
you-
us know.
Or even just get the word out. Talk to people.
Just-
yeah, exactly.
Just
don't-
maybe. you know,
Don't try to go behind our backs or over our heads, please, because
Yes.
Yeah.
it kind
Even
of
if you
makes us
don't
feel bad.
mean, yeah, even if you don't mean like, even if you mean well, it still comes off as kind of shady.
Yes.
Yeah.
and you don't want that, and we don't
Yeah.
want that. So just talk to us.
Yeah, and like, yeah, we love having more testers, we love the enthusiasm, but just talk to us first, and then we'll get you the things if we feel you're right for the position.
Right. Correct. Absolutely.
All right.
So,
So,
I think that's about it.
That's everything.
all right. Thank you guys for watching. We will get those threads up. We'll get those new testers testing fairly soon, within the next few days, within the next week or so at the very least. And we will see you guys next time with another update.
And
Probably
good luck to all
with
teams
pricing
next
and
season,
stuff.
and the people that want to become coaches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So look
Yep.
forward to that, and thank you guys for watching. And
Thanks guys for watching and supporting. the league.
Live, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.
bye.